And you recognize even when people, I mean, I own beauty salon, I work in real estate, I'm an author, I do podcasts, I work in food and like events, restaurants. And people tell me, Pam, how do you manage? I have 6 jobs now, and I'm a mother, and I live in 2 countries. They say, how do you manage? There is one simple thing: your time is yours.
Mm,
And I managed to go a couple of times on holidays. I do the things that I love. I had no diploma. I was married for 17 years
mm,
and I had to start again. But was it scary? Hell yes, it was very scary.
yeah.
But if you don't try, if you feel like you can't breathe, that pressure on your chest, or you feel like you're not leveling up with your life, most probably it's because there is something holding you back and you're not true to yourself.
Hello, welcome to the Feel podcast today. I'm back with another incredible guest from our friends at Podmatch. Pamela Michaux has one of those stories that when you read it, you are wondering, is this actually someone's life or is this a book that I'm reading? Because it is shocking and stunning, and also these things are happening more in the world than we would like to talk about. And also, when these things happen, we can heal, we can grow. They don't have to take us out. You get to decide what it is you do with your life and how you move forward with it. And Pamela is going to share, as we walk through these talking points today, her story and what she offers today and what she's learned. You are going to be touched by this. You're going to be impacted by this. You're going to learn things from her that I think are going to really help you think about what happens in your life to you, no matter how difficult it is, and how you respond to it. Pamela describes herself as a chameleon, which is might be the understatement of the world. She's adaptable. She's able to go with the flow, and this is gonna why this is an understatement is going to become very clear to you as we go through this conversation today. Pamela Michaux, welcome to the Feel podcast.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for having me. And yes, I'm looking forward to actually share with your listeners what it is and what it takes to stay positive, whatever happened to you, because we all have a story. And
Yes.
my story started from being born in Congo. As you see, I'm brown. My mother was black, she passed away, and my father white. So from the very first beginning of my childhood, I wasn't accepted. So
Yeah.
I had to basically find my way and love myself. I
Yeah.
had the love of my mother, but even in within my own family, on my mother's side, I was the white child. And as you see, I'm not white. It was back in the
Yeah.
Congo. And growing up like this and seeing the difference even in school, because the majority of the
Yeah.
kids were black,
Yeah.
or white. The only person I could relate to were my siblings. My brother,
Mm,
who was born a year after me, and my sister 5 years. So I had someone to compare myself with and actually
yeah.
linked to it,
Yeah.
because I had siblings on my mother's side. My half brother was black. I mean, is black, and I had older siblings on my father's side, completely white. And
Wow.
yes,
That's
so
such a mind thing for, especially for a kid. I mean, so talk to me. I'm going to start with the talking point of self-care, and what I mean by that is how you had to learn to take care of yourself and love yourself well through this, because there was a lot of mixed messages. There was a lot of identity and trying to feel like, where do I belong in all this? Where do I fit? Where is my home? How do I embrace my uniqueness and block out the narratives that I'm hearing from either side where they don't know quite what to do with me.
I mean, now I can put words to it. It's ignorance.
Yeah,
It's, I mean, I
1000%.
have no other word than ignorance.
Yep.
And you're human being, that you're white, black, brown, or Asian, wherever you come to, we all at a moment or another where we need blood transfer or even, organs, we are not going to ask
Yeah.
someone which origins they are from,
Yeah.
or the color they have, the religion they have. So for me, racism on the black side or on the white side, wherever side you are, if there is
Yeah.
racism, I call it ignorance. I
Yeah.
mean, complete ignorance. And it's basically passed on. And that's
Yes.
why we have like responsibility to teach our children, our nieces, whoever you have around, tolerance is a
Yeah.
basic, and respect.
Yeah.
Because if someone you love is in need for blood or organs, you will be very happy to find someone that match whatever the religion, whatever the color. So before you make any comments on that, just think of it. Anyone you
Yeah.
love being in a situation where they need help. So it's complete ignorance. I have no other words than describe on both sides, on my father's side, on my mother's side.
Yeah.
I don't have to choose if I'm black or white. I am both. I am
Yeah.
both. There is no preference where I belong or not. I belong for both. And we all belong because that's why we have humanity. And very
Yeah.
often people think short term, they fear what was passed on. And from a very young age, we are used to be compared. That it's to your
Mhm.
siblings, to your nieces, to any family member, even to a friend. Why can't you be like her or him? Did you see how lucky the parents are? Or do you see how lucky?
Mhm.
And we are putting in this box, and we don't have to be in the box.
No.
And once you realize that, God, I wish that I had the wisdom that I have now. But you
Yeah.
learn also with experience. So never regret what happened to you or what situation you were in.
Mhm.
You have to appreciate that everything that happened in your life, the good and the bad, it's a lesson,
Yeah.
and it's also an experience. And maybe at the moment, something really bad, and I will go back into my childhood and how I changed my perspective. And basically, we all have this perspective. When things happen now, it's like a panic mode, survival mode.
Yeah.
And I've been for a very long time in a survival mode. You can say survival
Mhm.
mode helps you, but it also blocks you. Because when you stop having to be in a survival mode, the thing is, you still continue because you're wired for danger. And it's
Mm.
actually very scary because you're like, you try to find the mistakes or things that is happening, why it's going too good. Without
Yeah.
even asking that question, it's unconscious. So
Yeah.
sometimes, excuse my French, we fuck things up for ourselves because we are wired to be sometimes in danger.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the lion's chasing us all the time, and we
Yes.
don't know how to differentiate between the lion and a small problem that's easily solved if we just sit down, take a breath, and look at it in our current present perspective and not the trauma-informed perspective that we're carrying with us from things that have happened to us in the past. And I mean, you've had some very extreme, and there is very good reason that your body and your nervous system were reacting that way. I want to get back to that when we talk about emotional, mental, physical health in a minute. But from what you've learned, because these things are generational, but they only stop if someone's willing to be the one and speak up of like, we're not carrying forward this narrative anymore. We are done with this narrative. That's what you have done. That's what you're doing in your own family. Have you talked to me about the need for healthy boundaries in your life to protect yourself and your space and your time and your energy from those who take away from it in a way that's harmful?
Well, it started like this at age of 7. So I had a good childhood, but I
Mm.
started blocking things off because it was,
Mm.
it's like very good and very bad. We all have
Yeah.
our own way of coping with things.
Yeah.
And one of the things that actually saved me, believe it or not, it's that I managed to delete, but basically you don't delete because
No.
your body still remembers. And,
Yeah.
I see the brain as drawers, so you have the good
Yeah.
memories, the bad memories, but they still store there. Even when you think, oh, it doesn't touch me anymore,
Mm.
it's a moment, and that moment comes when you're actually happy
Mm. Yeah.
because you allow the space for it to surface.
Yeah. That's just it. You're not designed to carry these things. And I think that's such an important piece. Your story, though, when we're talking about that mental, emotional, physical health piece, there's impacts. You carry it. At some point, it's got to come out. You've got to figure out what to do with it. You've talked about already how you operated a long time in hypervigilant mode. Was it age 12 that you were sent from Congo to France? Is that correct?
No, it's at age of 7
Age
when,
7. Okay.
yes, in Congo you had the Hutsi and the Tutsi. It later was known as one of the biggest genocide, if not the biggest
Yes.
in history. And
Yes.
my mother used to drive away and go like deep in the jungle delivering that it's fire or food. So she heard a lot. So the tension was rising. And being the
Sure.
oldest from the 3 children, I was sent with my father, who stayed there for 2 weeks and a half, to Belgium.
Wow.
Yes. And my mother, and that is what is really scary with kids, and especially, African culture. As I said, I'm as much white as black. They have like the oldest is the most responsible. So
Mm.
even for the siblings, you have to take care of them. It's just imprinted, like
Yeah.
generational, it's just imprinted. It's the way it is.
Yep.
While as the oldest, you don't have to take that responsibility because they are not your children. Yet it's
Yeah.
passed on. Even in families in Europe, it's still like, why don't you take care of your siblings? So I
Mhm.
was sent away 1 year later, and then my father left after 2 weeks. So, and in that house, and that's what I say, your body knows very often before your mind
Mm.
words to it. I knew deep in me that it wasn't a good place. My mother thought she was sending us in the promised land. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, and with family on my father's side. So I went from Congo, where my mom's family is black, to Belgium, where I was called the white child, Mundele. That's why
Wow.
my book is called Mundele
Daily
Diaries.
diaries. Yep.
Yes, but Mundele is not really a nice word to say to
Mm.
the white people, because if you know a bit the history between Belgium and Congo, there was a lot, but that's, yes, part of the history. So the white people were called Mundele. So
Mm.
I wouldn't say it's the same word as the N word for the for the black people, but you could say similar.
Sure. The
It's not a
context and
nice,
meaning behind
yes,
it was still the same idea.
yes, it's not very nice word to say.
Yeah.
And when I arrived in Belgium, I became the nigger or the black child.
Wow.
So imagine at age of 7 and you didn't have TikTok, social media, or even the TV. I remember seeing the first time Destiny Child. I was like, wow, I'm not the only one, with my
Yeah.
siblings. Because
Yeah.
the place where we lived, we were the only dark children in that school.
Wow.
So the first year was very tough. Yet
Yeah.
my mother told me, like, school is your way out. Be
Mm.
good. Like this, I can come. So 1 year later, my sister was 3 years old, and my brother, then 7, and I turned 8 years old.
Mm.
So my brother and my sister arrived, and my mother wasn't there.
Wow.
Yes, so my father and her sister. And in my family, and to write the book, I had to really dig. Why the people were the way they were, because it
Yeah.
couldn't make, I couldn't put words or sense to it.
Yeah.
Because family, especially on my mother's side, even though you could feel the difference sometimes, like the
Mm.
white children there, we will receive the last water to drink. It was still not like beatings or, called all the insults, physical abuse, sexual abuse. I mean, it was a lot. And
Wow.
being the oldest, I took a lot the hits, a lot. And at
Wow.
the age of 12, I run away. I
Mm.
informed, with the help of a teacher, I informed, you call it now social services. At the time,
Sure.
I'm 40 now.
Yeah.
So at the time, it wasn't like, it was almost like a taboo. You
Mm.
know, it was almost like a taboo. So when I ran away, I was placed in orphanage, government orphanage. I had no family to lean on.
Mm.
Um, then the lady who used to take care of me, of the government, to contact with my older sister. My father has many children. I think he has a football team with on top extras, So just to make the picture like very clear. And
Yes.
I saw my sister like in 4 years, like 10 times. It was the only time I went out of the center. I
Wow.
started an investigation against my uncle and aunt to remove my sister and my brother
Sure.
from there, because the things I seen, I did not want them to experience this without me.
Yeah.
So I waited till my sister was my age when I had to be there and take care of her. So
Sure.
she was 8.
Wow.
And
Wow.
people ask me, how did you manage? I have a 13-year-old. I don't see him doing this. But you cannot, you don't know how you will react, because when you are in the moment, some people freeze and
Yes.
take the hit. My survival instinct, and we all have it,
Mhm.
that if you don't do something, no one will do anything for you. And it was the
Mm.
key. Many people knew, but they didn't want to interfere. Family members, we had food locked in cupboards. My sister drowning in food. I mean, the things I seen, like, did it affected me? Yes, of course, it does affect you, because it leaves a mark. It's like a scar.
Mhm.
Even though it's healed, you still are marked.
Yeah.
And to not repeat the same cycle, it takes a lot, a
Yeah.
lot. It's not like I woke up and say, like, I don't want to be like this. I always said, I don't want to be like they are. There is another way.
Mhm. Yeah.
And when I start looking into my family history, crazy enough, they've been all through these same things in a way.
Wow.
And then when I wrote my book, I had uncles, aunts coming and speaking to me like, Pam, you took the courage to speak
Mm.
and to do something. And I said, like, I just have a question. And I ask a few of them. I say, when you go to someone's house and you see locks on the cupboards or on the fridge, don't you find it strange?
Yeah.
Yes, they said. And when you see the kids full of bruises and cleaning and not having a childhood, wouldn't you, imagine it's your grandchildren or your kids? Yes, but I don't have the courage like you have. And that
Jeez.
is so wrong.
It
Because
is. It,
even if you are like a neighbor and you hear the kids screaming and being beaten up, or even a family member, if my sister or my brother, I will be the first to get those kids out of there.
yeah.
Kids are innocent. They're like sponge. I had all the excuses to become one of the most horrible persons, but it's a choice to
Yeah.
fight against that and not to repeat. It's
Yeah.
easy to blame my past and say, oh, because this happened to me. And this, then you choose to be the victim
Yeah.
and to reproduce it. So you didn't learn anything from it.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. You give up your choice when you do that. But I don't want to underestimate here. This is difficult. You are sadly and truly remarkable. And it is interesting to me when you run into these generational traumas that have been around for so long and people just look the other way out of fear, out of I don't know. I can't imagine what it is, but you see these cycles repeat themselves over and over again. And so talk to me about what it was like to, like, once you got to a point as you got older and you realized you were carrying all this. I mean, you show up in a very beautiful, unapologetic way now, and you share your story openly, but you've also done the work to heal and move forward, wrote this powerful book. You're a resource on podcasts and speaking and panels and in so many ways. Talk to me about that healing journey and realizing that not only did I stand up and change generational trauma in my family, but I can share my story on a broader scope to help others do the same.
I had to learn to love myself. And you can say, like, yes, of course, I love myself. No, there is love and love. You know, you have to allow the things that hurt you to give them a space and not pretend like they are not existing there. And
Yeah.
another thing is, healing is a journey.
Yeah.
There is no timing in it. One time you can think, oh, I healed from it, and something else will surface because you're allowing it to come and don't push it away like, no, this is nothing.
Yeah.
And I give this simple example. I even give it to my son. It's like, when you have a steam pot, like we all know steam pots. So I see life as the cooker,
Mm.
you know, and we are the pots. Water is everything that happens to us. There is a moment when you keep things in, it will explode
Yeah.
because you don't give it space. And that's how we get panic attacks, anxiety. Speak about it, but do not victimize yourself in a way.
Yeah.
You have to. And I have sometimes also moments where I go up and I crash back down because, as I said, it's a journey. But when
Yeah.
it happens, I have a way, and everyone have a way. Some people talk about it. Other people, they found writing been very releasing for me. Music, whatever it is, find a way how to place words. Listen to a song. If you feel like a certain emotion coming up, take a piece of paper. In the beginning, you will feel silly and you don't know what to write. But bit by bit, you will be able to express yourself better and better.
Yeah.
It's like riding the bike. How many times did we fall? Or even walking before we start doing a sprint. You will have moments up, you will have moments down. The most important is consistency and not giving up and not thinking, oh no, I don't have time for it. If you don't have time for it, that means you don't give yourself time. Refuse to go with a friend sometimes for a drink, you know? And I've been in moments where alcohol became a solution for me, but it's short term. Drugs, short term. Denial, long term.
Yeah.
Face it. The only way to reduce your fears is to face them.
Yeah.
It's scary as hell, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But the result after, I mean, it's very rewarding because whatever relationship, and you will see it like generational cycle, you have also a cycle. You have moments where it's like a heartbeat, up, back down, and up. Allow when you go up, resource yourself, take the energy. And when you go down, allow yourself and say, like, hey, Pam, it's okay not to be okay. That's how what I say to myself. It's okay not to be okay. Most important, 2 days, and I tell myself, Pam, enough. Get out of bed. This is it. I will deliver my work, and people will not know about it, but I allow myself to not be okay.
Yeah. Give
But I
yourself that
don't.
space and time. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to allow ourselves that so we can feel, we can process, but then get up. I love what you said about taking those things, the music, the writing, those things that we do to care for ourselves, to get it out of our bodies, to allow ourselves to feel it and express it, and then move forward from it. But there's no shame in it, there's no fear in it, and accepting that it's an ongoing process.
Yes, and there is another thing. You can't fix someone.
Mm,
You can't fix anyone.
yeah,
The only person you have to really tolerate is you.
yeah, yeah.
And
And
very often, caretakers, people who, they want, because they wished, I used to give so much time to others,
mhm.
so much time that it was a way to forget that I had issues.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good point. It's because we can use that as a
I
way to
felt better.
mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
But
felt better because I could help someone. And it was like, I wouldn't say like in a way, a satisfaction, but it was more like I felt good because I wish someone was there for me.
mm, yeah. Yeah.
So, and you recognize even when people, I mean, I own beauty salon, I work in real estate, I'm an author, I do podcasts, I work in food and like events, restaurants. And people tell me, Pam, how do you manage? I have 6 jobs now, and I'm a mother, and I live in 2 countries. They say, how do you manage? There is one simple thing: your time is yours.
Mm,
And I managed to go a couple of times on holidays. I do the things that I love. I had no diploma. I was married for 17 years,
mm,
and I had to start again. But was it scary? Hell yes, it was very scary.
yeah.
But if you don't try, if you feel like you can't breathe, that pressure on your chest, or you feel like you're not leveling up with your life, most probably it's because there is something holding you back and you're not true to yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And loyalty is a blessing, but it's also a curse,
Yeah.
because we can stay loyal to things and people that's been there because they're family or because they've been your partner or your friend for so many years. People change, huh?
Mhm.
People really change. And one good advice: if one person always call you, and we all have this in your list, and the person all the time talk about their problems, and this happened to them, and this and that, I don't have time for this. Excuse me, but no, I don't have time for this. There is a moment I tell them, and I ask them really, I say, can I please tell you my opinion? If they say yes, I give it all. And it's not to break them down. I say, I have to tell you. And it's because I care for you. I've been listening to you. Repetition, repetition. It's good to talk about things, but I'm not your psychologist.
Yeah.
Your time is your time. Stop
Yeah.
feeling sorry for people who keeps feeling sorry for themselves.
Yeah.
You don't advance and you're actually not helping them. There is
Yeah.
a difference between being nice and being kind.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's a key difference. And I think that's where those like it's like, okay, I'm going to help you here in a way that may not feel very good right now. But if you keep regurgitating the same problem, but you're not doing anything about it, at some point, it is actually beneficial for someone to say, okay, we have beat this over and over again. We have heard this over. What are we going to do about it? What
Know
are
what
you
you are going
yeah,
to
yes, exactly.
do.
What are you going to take in action? I can't fix this for you.
No.
It is
And
not
you're
my
not there to fix because people
responsibility.
don't learn.
Exactly. We're not doing anybody any favors when we do these, try to solve their problems for them. And that's a really good example of a healthy boundary is it's not my problem to solve. You've said it over and over. It's time for you to take action. I am no longer going to listen to you regurgitate this problem because you continue to wallow in it instead of actually moving forward and coming up with an actionable plan and choice to do something about it. And so sometimes we have to draw that line in the sand with people. I'm like, either you move forward and do something about it, but I'm no longer going to listen to the same thing over and over again and enable you, because that's what we do. We're enabling them. We're not empowering them. We're enabling them.
Correct. And it seemed like, and my sister and my brother actually made me, I think it was like 2 years ago, where I used to fix things. I mean, I was the fixer of the family between us three.
Mhm.
I'm the oldest. And there is a moment when I say, stop. And for them was very shocking because since my 8 years old, imagine, and I'm 40 now, so for 30 years, I've been taking care of them like their mother, but I'm not their
Yeah.
mother. I said, and I went like, and people used to tell me like Sheba became crazy. No, I just take care of myself now.
Exactly.
I love you, and that's why I am doing it. And they actually told me one thing. They said like, we could have helped you as well, but you never ask for help. That's another thing.
Mm,
Sometimes you have to also to talk. It's good to be strong, but do you always have to be strong?
no.
You don't
Sometimes,
have to be. Even I'm guess even for my marriage at the point, if I was more like putting my foot down, I don't say become someone selfish, but have your boundaries. What I will not put someone do something that they don't want. Why would I accept it from the people I love? It doesn't make sense.
yeah.
And when I came to that realization, I was like, oh, the vitamin N, the power of saying no. And that's it.
Yes.
That's my vitamin, the N vitamin. No. And it's something you don't take a magic pill or, and in
Yeah.
the beginning when you're not used to say no, you're like, oh, and you want, so you often had, you really are in a good mood and someone calls you, oh, Pam, I have problems and this, and you're like, oh my God, here we go again. Okay, let me just listen. Now I say, what are you going to do about it, honey?
Yeah.
And like, what do you mean? I feel sad. I say, yes, I understand. I do feel sad as well with some moments. But just, do you have a solution for it? If it's just to listen, send me a voice note. But if you want me to help you to give you my opinion, and my opinion will be only what I experience.
Yeah.
Like people who have very loving parents, and I've seen it so many times. I have also a beauty salon, Melissa, and I heard so many stories. And you
Thank
start
you.
getting pieces together, and you're like, okay, people who had a very tough childhood, you try to find love in your partners, in people, or you become very bitter.
Yeah.
Like, you know, no trust in people, everyone is evil, and so there is always a opposite, a good and a bad side.
Mhm.
But people who receive a lot of love, very loving family, parents present, they have also a handicap because they've been so loved and they think the world is a loving Teletubbies,
Yeah.
a loving place where everyone is very peaceful, the husband present because they had their dad present or their mom. And when they go into adult life, it's a very big shock for them
Mhm.
because little things that you say like, oh my God, this is nothing. But for them, it's a lot. So
Yeah.
don't compare what is little or it's what you experience in life. Someone
Yeah.
will tell me, I will never survive what you survive. I say, first of all, you are not in my shoes, so you don't even know.
Absolutely.
And I don't see myself like yes, I had a tough childhood, but I wouldn't be also the person I am. I would be most probably also a very strong person in a way, but not who I am today.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's our responsibility to actually see the perspective without finding excuses if people act bad.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I think you drew that line in the sand. I think this is so important. I understand so much. I was an oldest daughter, and I was very much asked to start being responsible for my brothers, not just physically, but emotionally in a way that was not appropriate for a child. And it wasn't until probably in the last, I would say, 6 to 7 years that I finally drew that line in the sand. And my oldest daughter actually said to me, she's like, "Mom, you're not responsible for them. You're not responsible for their choices. They're adults. You should have never been asked to feel like you were responsible for them. They have to choose what they do. And if they choose something that is not in alignment or that you consider healthy, that's on them. You can't fix them, nor is it your responsibility to." That's such a wake up moment. And also, I don't know about you, but I felt so when I finally released it, I had that times of guilt because they
Mm.
weren't, and they still don't really understand what it is I've done. And also, it was like a huge weight was lifted off. Like, you mean I'm not responsible for making sure everybody else is okay? My parents, my siblings, that's not my responsibility to do that. It's their responsibility to decide what they're going to do. Whoa. I mean, I understood it academically I saw other people's situations, but I did not understand it in my own at all. And it really was kind of, I had, like I said, I had to really draw a line in the sand and a boundary around how much exposure I have to those voices, because they still want to pull me back in. And I have to be like, I'm going to I'll love you from afar. I hope that someday you find your voice and your health in a way that you are able to do this for yourself. But I'm no longer going to put my nervous system or abandon myself or my values or what I believe is important and healthy in order to try to help you do something you're way unwilling to do, and B, it's not my responsibility to. So I understand when you're talking about this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I understand that so succinctly. And also having to learn that you're not responsible for their responses to that. And it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. I think sometimes we think, oh my gosh, they didn't respond very well. I must be doing something wrong. I must be, because they'll try to throw words at you like selfish and what's
Oh, yes.
wrong with you and she lost her
Who
mind
you
and all
think
those,
you are?
all that language. But listen to that inner knowing, because I can tell you there was a sense when I made that decision, as much as there was some mourning
Yeah.
that happened.
It's guilt. I would call it like a guilt trip.
Yes. It took me about a year and a half to really shake that guilt.
Yeah.
But then once I paused and realized, holy cow, my life is so much more peaceful. The people that surround me are for me. They want me to be well. They interact with me in a healthy way. There's give and take in our relationships. There's respectful language used amongst us. Even if we don't agree on something, there's room to have conversation. So and then all of a sudden these values that I have of trust and loyalty, because I get the loyalty piece that can be a big inhibitor and keep us stuck in places because we are afraid we're being disloyal if we walk away from something, even if it's unhealthy for us. And so so much of what you said, I'm like, oh my gosh, I get this so much. Even though our lives were very, very different, there is that kind of narrative that I think exists across the world with a lot of cultural systems of the oldest daughter and what is expected of her. So I think it's so interesting having that conversation. Talk to me too about, you have a really strong sense of values that really guide you. When was there a specific moment that really helped you make that decision with your siblings, with your former husband? It's like, I've got to start making some healthy choices for me. I can no longer abandon myself. This is not in alignment with my values.
When I wrote the book, basically, When
Mm.
I wrote the book, I had a friend, 17 years of friendship. She even modified the book behind my back without telling me.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
And that's why there was a shift in me because your
Wow.
story, only you can tell it. No
Yeah.
one has to make it look nice. It's raw. It's who I am. And if you like it, it's good. If you don't like it, it's good as well.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, who is anyone to basically change how you live things, how you felt things, because
Hmm.
they know the book. And why would you change things behind someone's back?
Wow.
And that's the
Wow.
first time in my life. And then make it like turn and say like, yeah, but Pam, it's not as bad what your family did to you. And
Mm.
it was like a click in my head.
Wow.
I mean, I was like, are you serious?
Jeez.
Yes, and comparing like with my ex-husband, my family members, or my sisters, because she was obviously a very, I mean, very good friend. My son even called her auntie.
Mm.
And it was a big betrayal. And
Yeah.
that's what I said, like, you know what? Everyone, sorry for my English, fuck off. And I
Yeah.
actually, yes, and I went like, and people actually thought that I was going crazy. I
Mm.
asked myself, I went like to Lourdes. It's like a little village where, you go and pray. I went
Mm.
there. I cut off my internet. I was like literally no TV in my bedroom,
Mm.
writing, writing, writing. And it was like liberating. And now I do it at least twice a year. I do my own
Wow.
thing by myself, no talking to anyone. I meet people, I want to talk to them. Otherwise, I do my own thing. I pray and I am me. I
Yeah.
don't need to perform. As my book, and that's why I said, like, and this vision, I got it over, like I woke up and I say, like, I know the cover of my book and I'm working on
Mm.
second edition because we all learn to wear a mask. This is the thing.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if you see, here is my face,
Wow.
and those are my origins. You still see the
Wow.
eye, but my face
Yeah.
is covered because, and that's why I say I'm like a chameleon. I adapt, you know.
Mhm.
But a chameleon always go back to themselves.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so good. You started living out of your own expectations. You
Yes,
started instead of others, instead of pleasing others, taking care
yes,
of others, you started living in a way that honors you. And sadly, sometimes it takes those moments to kind of shake us and we're like, hold on a minute. This whole way I've been showing up for everyone else and carrying everyone else's burdens and trying to be, this is not serving me. And there's who in my life is showing up for me in the way that I'm showing up for others. And to have someone hurt you like that is also, it really makes you stop and pause and look around you and like, hold on, what kind of environment have I created for myself that allows those kinds of people access to me and be able to do that to me?
and the thing is, Melissa, I say, like, and I give that advice to, I mean, whoever say, like, Bam, can you give me an advice how to continue with my life? Or especially after the book, I had so many people from all worlds. I mean, I had women from India, men, even Nigeria. I had international people contacting me
Wow.
on social media and asking me, like, can I ask you a question? And I take time, even if it takes me 2 weeks to reply, I will
Mhm.
reply, but at
Mhm.
my space. Or I make a podcast about it and I send out a little video, where I just share
Mm.
it with them, without
Yeah.
going into, and they receive the message. And I just say, like, imagine we all have someone we really love, all of us,
Mm.
your children, your parent, or whoever it is. Now put that person in your position. They
Mm.
come with this question: what should I do? What advice would you give them?
Mm.
If that advice is not aligned with what you're doing yourself, you are lying to you because you
Mm,
love them so much, but you cannot give that advice to yourself. There is something wrong
yeah,
there. No,
yeah.
very often we come up, oh, they hurt my friend, they hurt my kid. But we should come up for ourselves like that. In every
Yeah.
plane, whatever plane you go in, they say put your mask first before helping others.
Hmm.
Why is that? Life is like this, it's a plane. If
Yeah.
something, God forbid, happen, if you are not in a good place, how are you able to help the ones you love?
Yeah.
Love you.
Yeah.
I used to write little post-it notes, the yellow, the pink, the blue, how to learn to love myself. I was told that I was ugly. I did
Mm,
modeling. I was stupid. I run 5 businesses.
yeah.
So I mean, I help my ex-husband with certain things. And for me, family was a lack. And sometimes I still
Mm,
am I a good mom? Because it's easy to copy your example, but I don't want to
mm,
copy what I see. I don't want to beat my kid up or
yeah.
making them feel like they're worthless. I
Yeah.
want the opposite. I want to empower them. I remember my son, 3 times I used to tell him, baby, careful. If you fall, I'm not going to pick you up. But 1 time, 2 time, and before the 3rd time, I say, careful. If you fall, I've been telling you to be careful. And when he fall down, people used to say, she's crazy. No, I teach him how to not only survive, but to, if you take risks, don't be surprised if you fall. It's nice to
Exactly.
take the risk. You get the adrenaline, but if you fall, make sure you use your hand to push yourself back up. I was in
Yeah.
an orphanage and I had no family, no money from the family.
Mm,
Could I have an easy life in certain ways? I could have. Would that make me proud? No.
yeah. Yeah.
I had ups, downs, but I never gave up. I
Yeah.
never gave up. And people say, oh, but I'm not like you. It's because you already condition yourself to not be like me. You don't have to.
Mm,
You are you. You do things for you. You don't have to live my life to give yourself the perspective that you can do it. I
yeah.
speak 4 languages fluent. Fluent. I finished drop school when I was 15.
Wow. But I think that's a great example, though, is like we use these markers to determine what intelligence is. We use these markers to determine what success is. We use these markers to determine what we're capable of, or sometimes allow ourselves to hold ourselves back. You blow all of that out of the water. You run multiple businesses, you speak multiple languages. I mean, you show up in all these ways, so it's like just because something has been done that way and has been given that definition doesn't mean it's true. Sometimes we take these narratives and we just treat them as truth and we don't stop and consider, is that actually true? Just because I wasn't able because of my situation to finish school, does that mean I can't speak 5 languages? No, I'm smart, I can learn those things. Does it mean I can't run these businesses successfully? No, I'm capable of figuring that out. So I love that stop and think, what kind of boulders are we putting up in our own way based on narratives we've been told that actually aren't true, that are holding us back and keeping us from showing up as who we are. And you've also given such a great example of what it looks like to what I call embrace our layers, all the pieces and parts that make up our story. You have multiple layers to your story, and a lot of them very difficult, but also lots of successes in the things you're doing and the way you're showing up today. But it's that ability. You've talked a lot about loving yourself, and that is such an important, to me, it's like it starts there. If we are not able to embrace our layers, all the pieces and parts of our story that make us who we are, that's the starting point of loving ourselves well, of knowing I'm human, I'm not perfect, my life is not perfect. Hard things happen to me, but I still get to choose how I respond from them, how I grow from them. I don't have to live in shame and fear. I can look at these things with curiosity rather than judgment, and see where it is I have growth opportunities and what still needs healing. And so for me, that turning point was that curiosity instead of judgment, which I feel like in your own way, you've done yourself and in your ability to embrace your layers, which I think is really incredible. Do you have anything else you want to add to that journey of you embracing your layers?
Um, from age of 7, I was removed from my mom, and the last time I
Yeah.
saw her for 2 weeks and a half was when I was 10.
Wow.
Yes, and I mean, from 7 till I left that house. And people used to say orphanage is bad, but for me, it was the best things happening since I arrived in Belgium.
Yeah.
It was amazing for me. I
Yeah.
would compare it now with the five-star hotel
Yeah.
because
Because you weren't getting abused.
exactly, I was not getting abused, not the fear to fall asleep and to be waking up heated, and
Yeah.
or my aunt used to place me in places. I mean, the things I've seen, and I always said something, I never want to be like this. And I
Yeah.
used to pray even for my aunt and my uncle.
Mm,
And one thing I learned is to hug myself. I didn't know the meaning of it
mm,
because my sister, even though she had beatings as well and everything, and that's another thing. When I told my sister, like when she said, yes, but I suffered as well. And I was a bit surprised when she said it, because I used
mm.
to stand in front of my sister to take the hits instead of her.
Sure.
So she would get tired of hitting me, my aunt. And she said, but when I heard you crying, for me, I would have preferred being the one being hit. And that actually, you know, put me, and this after being adult, and both of us, we are mothers. And we had really a talk about it. And sometimes the helplessness that you have, even as a child,
Yeah.
um, it's like we said, it marks. And I used to, even when I was married, and even now, sometimes I wake up like sweating, and I
Mm,
still have that where I hug myself, when I feel like,
yeah.
and I say, and my friends make fun of me, I say, just breathe, just
Mhm.
breathe. Because when we are happy, our breathing change. When we are sad, our breathing change.
Yeah.
When we are excited, the breathing change.
Mhm.
Learn how to breathe. There are even exercises. There
Yeah.
are classes to learn. People say, but I know how to breathe. No, actually, no. Most of us, we don't know how to breathe. Even when we have kids, when we deliver, we learn how to breathe. It's
So
for a
true.
reason. It's for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's okay not to be okay. That's what I want to add. Breathe. Take time for yourself. If you don't feel it, just if you feel like guilty to say no, ask yourself if it was someone you really love, what advice would you give them? Make sure that advice is aligned. What you're telling yourself of what you're doing.
100%.
And, and love is amazing, but
Mm.
pain becomes also a comfort zone.
Mm.
And that's why you say, like, wait, this person being abused, why she goes back in an abusive relationship? Because that person is her comfort.
Yeah. And our
And
nervous system equates comfort with
yes,
safety.
and you have, like, I know so many people, and they, men and women, they say like, oh, but this person is boring. And you know what I tell them? You want someone to beat you up and to treat you bad for it not to be boring? Because
Yeah.
they're not often not used to it. The
Right.
person is boring because it's too peaceful sometimes.
Yeah. They
They
don't know
need
what to do if
excitement,
they're not in chaos.
adrenaline. You know what you do? Go bungee jumping. Jump from a plane if you need adrenaline. I mean,
Yes.
serious.
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
best thing, I prefer to have a boring life with life partner. I say like this because what is boring?
Yeah.
Define what is boring.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
person don't want to go out. No, you want a partner that goes drinking every night and come drunk and you don't know where they are. Okay, that's what you want. Ah, no, Pam, I never thought of it like this. Oh, he's playing a lot of video games. Yes, but did you actually sit down with him? If you don't know how to communicate, write down. It gives you the space and the other person to read. Because when you have a heated moment, we all say things that we don't mean. But
Yeah.
when you write things down, let it sink. You don't have problem solution. Let problem sometimes, it's already a problem. What is going to be worse of a problem?
Yeah.
Let it leave the night over, next day, check in again. If you still like emotion is amazing, but it's also a little prison
Yeah.
because when you act on emotion, you're like a puppet. You left, move right. Someone can tell you something and you go, or make you doubt about yourself. I
Yeah.
said, did I ask you your opinion? I didn't ask your opinion. You can think that I'm too much for anything. Honestly, I don't care. I don't care what you think of me.
Hmm.
But you feel yourself like you can tell your opinion. So let me tell your opinion. I think you should mind your own business. And if I need to hang out my dirty laundry, I will call you because you love to sniff in people's dirt. Congratulations.
Mm.
You won the medal. Am I
Um,
arrogant? Maybe in their opinion, but I didn't
yeah.
ask for their opinion. So why they come and tell me their opinion? I will not
Yeah.
allow myself to go to someone and say like, "Hey, this is my opinion." I have enough to work on myself,
Yeah.
and it's always the people who have nothing to do that they need to gossip. Speak. You
Yes.
make publicity for me. Go. Do. You want to pick. I heard this about you. You know what? I think that you need to add a little bit more, but spread the word. So like this, I don't do a Google ad. You
Well,
know?
I mean, I think that you made such a good point is people that are unsettled with themselves
Yes.
try to find the unsettled in others.
Yeah.
You've done the work. You have you are living out feel. You are living out finding empowerment, embracing layers, the acronym for the show. You are an embodiment of that right now. And these decisions that you've made to choose you, which has allowed you to show up well for yourself in your relationships. And it's also impacted how you show up for others in relationships and what you will and won't tolerate anymore. And I think when people that are uncomfortable with themselves see that,
You mirror.
it's a
You
mirror.
mirror.
Exactly. It makes them uncomfortable. So rather than go home and sit in the quiet and really start unpacking their own issues with themselves, they'd rather just make you the target. And that's the beauty of doing your own work is it's like, all right, I mean, if that's how you want to operate, go ahead. No, skin off my back. I'm going to do me. I'm going to honor me. I'm going to live in a way that honors me. And I'm going to surround myself with people that honor me. And I'm not going to allow people that are unwilling to do the work take me down or make me feel bad about choosing to take care of me well.
Yes, and own your past. That's another thing I want to add. Own
Ah,
your past.
yeah.
Whatever happened to you. I slept 2 weeks in the street of age of 12. Two
Wow.
weeks. I used
Yeah.
to ask classmates like, can I please shower when the parents weren't arriving home yet?
Wow.
People didn't even know until, I was like, okay, now I need to find it. And I took the courage. I asked a friend to take pictures with the old Nokias, of my
Mhm.
bruises and everything. But whatever happened to you, yes, sometimes things happen. And you got beaten up. Yeah, I've been beaten up. I've been sexually abused, emotionally abused. Am I gonna be ashamed of what happened to me? I'm not going to give them that pleasure. I
Yeah.
speak about it. I
Yeah.
speak. Then no one can point finger. Hey, I have this on you. You have shit on me. Zero. Why?
Yeah.
I'm speaking out. My even for my kids, people try to use what happened in my past. I say, you know what? It's so nice for you to judge. But let me tell you something. If you were in my position, how would you react? Oh, let me just think. You don't know because you're not in my position. So keep your things for yourself. I don't need to hear it. Own your past. You might feel over like people say, oh, she's full of herself. Damn, yes, I'm full of myself because I worked for it. I look
Mhm.
at myself and sometimes I say, Pam, you're fabulous. Not sometimes, most of the times. I say, Pam, you're strong. You can do this. Do I have doubts? Yes, but I don't let my doubts become fears.
Yeah.
No, I jump into it. What is the worst? I fail. And so what? I will learn why I failed and
Mhm.
then I will improve. But next time when I jump, I make sure that I don't miss, huh? And if I miss, you know what? I will stand again. It's like
Yeah.
learning how to walk.
Yeah. You
And
took your power back.
I took my power back, Melissa, and I am enjoying. I remember being married and, because I had no family and I was like, it was eating me, not because he was a bad man, but I allowed certain things from the family and from other people to interfere because I was such in a dream world that I wanted this family. But you know what? I'm a
Mm.
better mother since I'm with my son. I don't tell anyone, leave your husband or leave your wife. What I do tell you is open your mouth, not when you're angry or disappointed. Sit down with the person if you really care for the person. Sometimes conversation, and you cannot change things now like this. If you've been 13 years in a relationship and you let the person put the things there and it annoys you, and you're like, God's sake, why can't he not take his shit and put it in the bin? Just take a breath, breathe in. It's like kids when you give them candies every night and then you say, hey, you're going to have a sugar crush. They're going to look at you like you went crazy, and you went crazy, seriously. Because why would you give them so many sugar for all these years? And suddenly you're going to say, listen, now it's not good for your health because I read it. No,
Yeah.
gradually, but consistent.
Yeah.
Express yourself without screaming. When we scream, we lose control. That is our partner, our kids, anyone, even
Yeah.
at work. If you've been taking certain things and you feel very unhappy, write them down and bit by bit ask. I had example my sister. I told her ask for a raise. She was like, no, no, I cannot. I just started. I say numbers online. If you deliver, they will be very happy. And she got the raise. She couldn't believe it. And now she wants to go full on in sales. Don't be afraid. You have already a no. What is the
Yeah.
worst can happen? You get a yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's just it. Nothing happens if you don't do anything. But if you do something, there's a chance. But I love that patience and that communication when you're calm, write it down. We get no, and I learned this the hard way. I grew up in a house of screamers, and
Yeah.
all that did was make us want to run it. We didn't listen to anything that was being said. It made us fearful. It made us scared. It made us irritated. And we didn't even take it seriously because we didn't know the difference between what was actually serious and what wasn't, because they screamed about everything. And so there's so much to be said for calm, write it down, be patient. But when you're advocating for yourself, when someone disagrees or pushes back, if they're asking you to abandon you, then that's not healthy for you. And it's okay to say, you know what, that's not healthy for me. And I think that you've shared so many examples of that, that you've done with yourself, and that also that you've shared with others. I mean, I knew this was going to be an incredible conversation today, and you have delivered. As we get ready to wrap this up, I could talk to you all day, but for the
Wow,
sake
I didn't even see the time passing. I mean,
I
I
know, I
thought like we
know,
were talking for 10 minutes, and I'm like,
I know,
wow.
I know, I know. I feel the same way. But as we wrap up with our listeners today, and don't worry, listeners, I'm going to have Pam's resources on our website at embracinglayers.com so you can find more of her and learn more from her. But as we wrap this up, share with me 5 activities that nourish you.
Boxing.
Oh,
Boxing. Honestly,
yeah, it's a
it
great way to
makes, I
let
mean, this
everything
morning,
out.
yes, you get it out. Do
Yeah,
sports. Feed your mind, your body, and your soul.
yeah.
Read, write down. Go connect with the nature. That is a walk in the nature. If you live near the sea or a river, just, remove your socks. Okay, if it's winter, I don't recommend that, but just connect. It brings you to peace.
Yeah.
Cooking, I love cooking. Love
Mm,
it. And it's a way to express. Some people will play piano or an instrument. I mean, whatever you feel like, we all need something that gives us pleasure.
yeah.
And spending time with the people I love.
Mm,
I have a very big family, but I created my own family.
yeah. 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 And I think that's a beautiful thing is we can do that.
Yes, we can. We all. And at least like 30 minutes, even if you're in a relationship or you have kids, 30 minutes, have it at least for yourself.
Mm,
Staying with the phone or this, just like breathe and take time for you.
yeah. Fill that
And
cup.
yes, and it's so important. It's
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
And being honest with me. I mean, I can give you a whole list of things I love to do. For sure, sport, cooking, and I get fulfillment also to see people that struggled and now succeeding. I get so much
Mhm.
happiness from it. And some people that, I changed their life without even realizing, and they contacting me back and saying, Pam, I'm managing 130 apartments now. And she used to be
Mm,
a example at my,
mm.
and don't feel guilty. When I've been a cleaner, I used to clean toilets in festivals. And believe me, in festivals, people drink.
Ugh,
So,
ugh,
yes, exactly. So
ugh.
I did babysitting. I mean, and now I have employees, and I have businesses to develop more. So I'm not afraid to learn. I'm not afraid to fail,
Yeah,
because it's like a cycle of life. But when you do something, do it fully. And
yeah.
I love working. I've been working from age of 7, and I love it because I found things that I enjoy doing. So I will
Yes.
the things I enjoy doing, and they come natural to you. It doesn't feel like work. That's a secret. I do the
Yeah,
things I love to do. I love
yeah.
beautiful places, so I work in real estate. I love beauty, so without you see, I barely wear makeup, but I like my eyebrows to be done. Simple, my nails. So whatever you do that is you take pleasure and you see other people also happy. If you do something with passion, it will
Yeah,
show in your work.
yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I
People
think
will feel that from you.
yes, and I always say people don't have to like me, but they will respect me because they will see that I will deliver.
Yeah,
And then you start liking a person because you see the improvement in the positive way. Everyone
yeah,
can. I can tell you, Melissa, I love you. But if my actions are the opposite, my words, everyone, the biggest idiot I learned from the biggest idiots as well that I met in my life, but it's an idiot in my eyes. Does it mean the person is an idiot? Not necessarily, because that's what I
hmm,
encounter with the person.
yeah, yeah.
So it's all about perspective. And remember, when you write a 6, I write a 6, you see a 9.
That's such
And
a
if I,
good example.
yes,
Yeah,
and when I tell you, let's change place, you will see again the opposite. It's just the
yeah,
way you place yourself. Take time to just sit with the problem if it is a problem. Because when
mhm,
there is a problem, there is also a solution. But take
yeah,
your time that the solution is made out of calm, not in a rush.
yeah, yeah. So,
Anything that is a relationship, business, anything done in a rush, check the outcome.
yeah, it's going to tell the story.
Yeah.
100%. All right. 5 words. I know, that's so good. I mean, there's so many good gems here. Um, 5 words on how you wanna feel the next 6 months.
Fabulous. No, empowered. I'm still, like I said, healing is a journey for me.
Yeah,
So I would say empowered in term for me, not empowered, and also for others. But first for me, because I will
yeah,
show the way. When
yeah,
one light, you light for others also to see the way.
absolutely.
That's education, because I want to continue educating myself.
Mhm.
And how this is, it's always like, woo, I have so many things that I want to say, but I have to find the words. And English is not my first language, if I may
Yes,
say.
but you do
Um,
beautifully.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Empowered, yeah. Um, huh, I would say my second book, so author. I want to
Mm,
and teacher because I want to teach others as well,
mm,
and
yeah,
not in terms of like going to a school by
right.
speaking up and teaching them. You have the responsibility to also show others
Yeah,
whatever your story is. Your story is not worse or better than mine or equal to mine. We are different. We react different,
exactly. Yep,
and
yeah.
love. I
Mm,
want to love
mhm,
myself more than I do today than I did yesterday.
mm. Oh, that's so good. So good. Pam, tell people where they can find you and follow you.
Social media, Mundele Diaries.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh, all
that's what I
right.
use the most. And always, if you want, I will send you. I might send you a video or a reply to you, but I will reply with something. So,
Okay.
and you have nothing to lose. Educate yourself. Be financially free. Don't depend on people. It's good to have people you can count on, but don't depend. No one wants to have a burden on them. You don't
Yeah.
want, they don't want, even
Yeah.
if they love you.
Yeah.
And your happiness is your responsibility.
Yes. Yes. So important. But that's the key takeaway. Your happiness is your responsibility. Where can people find Mandalay Diaries? Is that available on where's that available at?
Now, on the moment, I actually remove it because I'm translating it in English, sorry, in Spanish and
Oh,
in French. And then I want to do
wow.
like the big, yes. But for now, just if they send me, so when it's back out, I think in a month and a half, I will have
Okay.
the three versions.
Great.
'Cause,
All right.
yeah.
That's
Thank you.
exciting. Oh my gosh. And once that's available, again, we will list that on our resources page on our
Thank you.
website at embracinglayers.com. So just let us know when that's up. Thank you so much for your time today. I always enjoy our conversations. I think you're fascinating and brilliant and empowered. And I'm so thankful that our paths crossed.
Me too. And I want to thank you. And you said something before very powerful. Your oldest daughter told you. That should also show you the education you gave to your kids, the responsibility, protecting them without babying them. So
Yeah.
well done to you too, Melissa. And thank you for giving this opportunity to let and give us the voice as well to speak for others. So I can only mirror you and say thank you very much for being here and for what you do.
Thank you so much, Pamela. All right, listeners, so much to take from today. Go back, take notes, check out Pamela's resources. I'm also going to link a panel that she was on with me a couple of months ago in this. If you haven't listened to it yet, more wonderful nuggets of wisdom and nuance from her. Take good care of yourselves this week. Love yourselves well and be accountable for you. You get to choose. You are valuable. You are worthy and you get to choose. Take good care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time on the Feel Podcast.
Hello, and thank you so much for being with us today on this episode of the Feel Podcast. If you would like more information on how you can apply these talking points that I share with our guests in each episode to your own life, really utilize this Feel framework, go to embracinglayers.com, fill out our contact form, and let's set up a free 30-minute consultation to talk about how you can start living your most authentic, organic, healthy, feel-fueled life. Thanks again for being with us today. We'll be back to you soon with another episode here on the Feel Podcast.